Well, my career began after university in hospitality. So I did a degree in hospitality management and worked for many years in hospitality, mainly hotels, climbing the ranks of the management hierarchy, and worked in very high-end establishments for many years, and just sort of fell out of love with it really after a while. But the one reason why I got into hospitality was my pure love for dealing with people and building relationships with people. And it sort of transpired that hospitality was very transactional. It was quite quick, and I wasn't able to build those relationships on any meaningful level with those people. So actually I went looking for another industry that kind of had those transferable skills from what I'd learned and actually dealt with people at the forefront. And my friend had done the same. He'd gone from hospitality into a estate agency, and he said, look, you should do it. You've got all the skills needed, you'll enjoy it, and you're able to deal with people on a daily basis. And I took the leap of faith, and I simply haven't looked back. 13 years I've been doing it, and I've loved every single day of it. It's so different, and I get to build those true relationships with people. So yeah, really good. The favourite part of the process, I think, is actually building that meaningful relationship, and actually them trusting you, and actually having them feel that you know you've got their back, they've got your back, and it's a real sort of working relationship. But also it fundamentally starts with just me. You know, they get me, as I said, all the way through that whole process. They get me 7 days a week, so I'm at the end of the phone. And what's great is now I can communicate with my clients on a level that I've never communicated before. The likes of WhatsApp, text messaging, email, phone call, whatever is their preference. I'm there on the end of that communication. And if it's early in the morning, if it's late at night, it's fine. It's not a problem. I can, and actually, in a strange sort of way, that builds the relationship more because it's not structured. It's in their own time when they're most relaxed, when they've got time to devote to sort of communicating with me. I'm at the other end of the phone as well, or that communication. So it's that building up, but also I think why I really truly like this model is because I'm able not to base it on volume, which is what the high street model does and how it exists. It's that mantra that, you know, it has to base itself on volume because of the overhead of that high street office, and it has no choice but to base it on volume. But I think that the problem with that model is that the customer is the one that suffers because they're plate spinning with so many other properties and so many other clients. That one client gets forgotten about. The strategy with selling their house gets lost in translation, and suddenly they are one of many. What I love about the model I'm doing is that I only have a few clients that I'm dealing with at only one time, so I can truly devote all of my time, attention and passion onto them, just them, selling their house, selling their pride and joy and getting them moved and making it a really pleasant experience for them. And I think also it's based, because I can base it not on volume, I'm able to provide a better service with the intricacies of viewings, for example. I'm basing it more on quality rather than quantity of viewings through that front door. So I'm making sure that I'm matching that applicant. I'm making sure that I understand that applicant, what they want, their buying motives, their proceedability, all of those facets. I'm understanding that to match them with the property that I'm selling. So that partnership between myself and my client is very much, you know, sort of transparent as far as matching and understanding the applicants that I'm putting through the front door, because it's my time as well now. It's my time that I'm spending on those viewings. It's my client's time that is cleaning up their house, and I'm very sympathetic to that. And it's about getting that harmony right, but also come offers as well. It's making sure that I get every single penny for my client. It's making sure I get them the maximum amount of money that I possibly can for them, because it's going to have an impact not only on their life, but also possibly on an onward move as well. So it's all very, very relevant as well. And the other thing that I certainly can provide is a whole sales progression management of that chain. And that's often what is lacking in the traditional model, where they'll put a sale in hand and then ultimately they'll move on to the next new instruction. And that will almost be sort of left to chance with the solicitors and hoping on a wing and a prayer that that will go through. And actually, but because it is so important to me that that transaction not only completes for my personal commission structure and my pay packet, but also, you know, to get my clients sold once and once alone, it's so important that that whole chain progression management is managed on a sort of bi-daily basis with solicitors, with other agents, and that's something that certainly I can surpass other agents on the high street, because I know that that's not the attention they give, and that's something that I know that's very important to my clients, to make it as stress-free as possible, and actually quite a pleasant experience if I can be on top of that, which I will. So yeah, all of those sort of those facets I pride myself on giving that red carpet treatment for my clients. So yeah, in general, I'm there for my client all the way through, and hoping that they're going to be having a great experience along the line as well. Newick surrounding villages, it's that sort of quintessential kind of English Sussex countryside, Sussex pubs, Sussex way of living. But I think for me, the reason why I've sort of lived there and have stayed there is the opportunities and the links to other things as well. So you've got the transport links to London, to Brighton, right on your doorstep. You've got the schools, you've got the really good state schools, but you've also got really, really fantastic private schools as well. And that is a magnet towards a lot of people coming down from London especially. But it's also the countryside on your doorstep. It's the country walks that you can do, footpaths galore, and it's the community as well of these villages that are still thriving with their shops and their butchers and their bakers and their pubs. And that's what makes it special. And it's that mixture of that sort of community spirit, but also you're stone's throw away from bigger towns and indeed London, Brighton on your doorstep as well. So yeah, it's a great mix, and I love it. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.